Kenshin, Act 6. We met our 4th member of our cast, though he didn't join us like I thought he. They had this moment. Kenshin and our handsome hero had a moment out in the street where they like kind of acknowledged each other as I don't know, fighters or as gentlemen, or maybe he was kind of acknowledging us a little bit more than we were acknowledging him. That's fair. But we had his back when they were dueling in the street and somebody tried to pull a knife. That's when Kenshin steps up and goes, okay, we're not gonna pull weapons. They're just fighting. It was cute how Kaoru got some money, and the first thing she's like, you know what we should do? Go out to eat. I was kind of confused by the politics of the chapter. You know, earlier in the book they were talking about industrializing the land around Kaoru's dojo and westernizing the area, and they make it sound terrible. It's the worst thing in the world to be westernized and to have an industry. That kind of is easy for me to understand why you might feel that way. But then these guys over here, they're also talking Western ideas. Sanosuke says, you guys bark out pretty words like freedom, justice, and equality. What a bunch of hypocrites. Okay. So our Japanese characters are not so used to values or virtues such as freedom, justice, and equality. You want the freedom to get drunk and be violent in public? That's what you want? So in the end, the political activists that were defending the democratic rights were the bad guys. These are the bad guys. That, again, I could have written that differently. Just like with the industry and the westernization and the industrialization. If I had a different mindset, I could have said, well, that's a good thing. If I had a different mindset, I could have said, well, these guys are a bunch of drunks, but they're right about the human rights that they're trying to defend. But in our story, they're the bad guys. It was funny, he didn't pay, right? He had a giant, chivalrous, big show and walks away, but doesn't pay the bill. He does walk away. There's a huge reveal of a kanji on his back that I don't know what it means. Do you guys know what it means? Okay, you know how Kenshin calls Kaoru Dono? I'm like, what is Dono? What kind of suffix is that? It's apparently like sensei, like sama, like Kaoru sama, but it's lower. It's lower in rank. So you got the sama above the dono. So he's showing her respect as a fighter, as a sensei, but not a very high-ranking one. I feel like maybe they'll tell us. He's gonna tell us what his tattoo means eventually. It was just too big of a shot in the manga to gloss over that. Though it could just be like, well, aren't you Japanese? Don't you know what it means? Okay, I gave you a giant reveal of his back, so now you know. Okay, we're moving on. I'm not sure which way we'll go. What do you think of the fight merchant? I guess when he's selling fights, he's beating up people who are way weaker than him. When he's buying fights, it's a challenge. Is that kind of the metaphor he's using? He flicks the guy in the head and he goes tumbling over. Like, this is probably the second strongest character we've seen. I'm assuming he's weaker than Kenshin. I am assuming everybody in the story is weaker than Kenshin. I'm assuming Kenshin's the strongest character on the planet in the story. O most holy one, most lowly one, loving Virgin Mary, Mother Maid of fairest love, Lady, Queen of all above, Ora, Ora, pro nobis. No shit, he just said Ora, Ora. Virgin ever fair Mother, hear our prayer. Look upon us, Mary. Bring us your treasure, grace beyond all measure, ora pro nobis. Amen. They're rhyming. I wanted to read this to you because I like these comments from the author talking about how he designs his characters and where he gets his inspiration, how he gets where these characters come from. But this one specifically is about the two brothers. Remember these guys from chapter 1. Boy, how could I forget? They were the main characters. I just didn't know it at the time. Well, now they're back. They've purchased a fight against our hero, against our main character. And so Sanosuke looks like he's going to be tracking us down. He's got to cash in his fight. But the characters of Haruma, Kaihi, and Gohi, the way these two turned out is a direct function of the story. I wanted a pair of interesting villains to start things off with a big bang, and figured I'd make one of them brainy and then the other one wild. The story of how these two first came together was taking up too many pages, though. So after some thought, I made the decision to change them from being circumstantially related to being blood related. Thus, they became brothers. That's interesting. I was writing this whole backstory about how they came together, wanted to team up, and I was like, you know what, forget all that. They're just they're just brothers. They're just brothers. They're teamed up because they're brothers. That's it. Now, back to Kenshin. Their models, in terms of design, are certain well-known manager-director from Obata Takashi's Chikara Bito Densetsu for Kaihi, and some character spotted in a magazine who made me think, oh, Impact for Gohi. Much more than that, I don't really recall. He's saying for Gohi, I took the model from this dude's magazine. For Kaihi, I picked it up out of a book from a well-known manager-director. Unlike Kenshin and the others, the faces of these two are made of basic, simple shapes. It's like Phineas and Ferb, making them much easier to draw. The closer I got to the deadline, in fact, the fonder I became of drawing them this way. Alas, we're not likely to see them again. Time to draw them? About 2 minutes. Easy. This is why they're the masters and I'm the readers. So we're not likely to see them again, but look who came back to the final chapter. Haruma, Gohi, Haruma, Kaihi. And we got Sagara Sanosuke, 19 years old. Holy cow. Anybody think he was 19 when he was introduced? Was it 25? Kenshin, 28. Okay, confirmed. Not 30, Kaoru. Christ. Kaoru's 17. Okay. We're blooming young lady. And then Yaiko, 10. Yaiko's only 10 years old? He's got a mouth of a sailor. He's got a mouth of an adult. An old soul. Here's Gohei. Fui! The legendary Hitokiri Himura Batosai. The fight merchant has been looking for a man like you. He's impersonating. It's the same panel from the last chapter. He's pretending to be Sanosuke. With the headband and the weapon, he's repeating his lines. It's been 2 weeks since he said that, and then he left. Where did that bird head go? They're pissed off. Where is he? We paid him for the fight. Where the hell is he? Kaie. Better not have gotten scared off and ran away. I just need to enjoy my fight, he says. What an idiot. And then Sanosuke comes up from behind him. Bam! With both fists into his head. You're the idiot. Gong. Don't quit mimicking me. I'll hang you upside down. Zaza-san, where have you been? The fight. A different fight? No, you twitch. A fight doesn't start with punching and kicking. You wouldn't understand, even if I explained it to you. You've been gone for a week to prepare for the fight? I see. How are you preparing for the fight? So now he comes back a week later. Alright, I think I'm ready. I'm coming back. I'm going to get my weapon. Whatever I was doing, I did it. Now it's time. Fight merchant, Zanza. They gave me his name at the beginning of the chapter, Sanosuke, and that's of course that's how I know him, Sanosuke. Zanza must be this nickname he goes by. Zanza-san. This is what the brothers call him. Zanza-san. A hired fighter known by everyone in the darker alleys of East Tokyo. An impudent lone wolf who determines his rates by how much he enjoys the fight. I need some guy I need you to go beat up. Okay, but if it's not fun, I'm gonna charge you a lot of money. We have a shot of his symbol on his back again. But he's good. Those who fight against him experience so much fear, they see the Aku character in their nightmares for months. The Aku character means evil. Is that what the character on his back says? Evil? Walking around with evil on your back, Sanosuke? Pretty scary. Are you trying to intimidate people? Kahe looks over. He's the only one who will be able to kill that annoying man. Qatar Dojo. That Himura Batosai? Here we go again. I'm just sitting here drinking tea. Notices. Puts down the cup. We have a guest. Kaoru. Huh? Wait, Kenshin, what's going on? His key is powerful. Yaiko got a rice ball falling out of his mouth. He don't feel it. Kenshin opens the door, and sure enough, there is a guest waiting for him in the yard, standing there. Unconcealed, blatantly honest fighting key. He's not some rogue. He's not an assassin. He doesn't lurk. He doesn't skulk. He just came into the front door, stood there, and waited for Kenshin to come outside. Kenshin felt him. Felt his presence. I came to pick a fight. Kaoru. It's that guy from before! Kenshin. So it's you. Sorry, this one shall refrain from fighting. Zanza steps forth. I can't accept that. I've taken this fight as a merchant. I can't back out. On top of that, my opponent is a revolutionary warrior, Himura Batosai. He knows us. Everybody in the panel is shocked. How the F do you know who we are? It's like they're frozen. The Chaozu revolutionary, Himura Batosai. Oh, now we know what group we came from. We know Satsuma, they're the assholes. Chaozu became military, Satsuma became police. I'd have to go look. But for sure, we are in Chosu. The Chosu revolutionary, Himura Batosai, whose way is the ancient sword style of the Hiiten Mitsurugi Ryu. He knows every fucking thing about it. He knows our style. He knows everything. Active for 5 years, from the ages of 14 to 19. We're not even sure our own age. He knows. How did you get all this information? Yaiko's looking on. Hired for the first half of his career as a Hitokiri. A relentless assassin, lurking in the darkness of the night. Now we got Kaoru. Who is this encyclopedia guy who knows biography on our friend here? And in the latter half, acting as a free swordsman to protect his comrades in the from government killers, the Shinsengumi. Thus, the killer who would never have seen the light of day became a legend. And in deciding battles of the Bashin War, after victory in the first battle of the Toba Fushimi, he disappeared, and then reappeared as a Rurouni. Homura Kenshin, giving us his entire backstory. It's just interesting because Kenshin's whole identity is, you don't know me. My past is not defined. I'm doing a new thing now. So none of my past matters. Zanza shows up and gives us every single thing he did in the war. I don't think Kenshin likes this. Look at his eyes. This isn't passive listening. This is, how do you fucking know this? Zanza, a real fight begins with knowing the opponent. Upon learning, I chose my way to fight. I went to Kyoto, where the revolution had its center, and I have pretty much got it right, don't I? Kenshin looks back. Serious, not soft-eyed, not hard-eyed, but serious. And have you determined the way to fight me? He says. That's the first thing he says. I know every single thing about you. And the first thing Kenshin says is, and have you determined how you're going to fight me? Sansa, well, that's the problem. My research only turned up vague history. Nothing about what Hitamitsukiri Ryu is like, or why the relentless Hitokiri turned into a Ronin who kills no one. So he's missing some of the story. I couldn't figure it out. So here I am at the main gate, honorably, asking for a face-to-face fight. Sansa looks up confidently. Kenshin looks over. Uncertain. What's your game? Why are you really here? Are you sure this is what you want to do? It was very impressive what he did. I went to Kyoto and I figured out everything about you to come back to fight you. But I didn't learn enough. Kaihei and Gohei are looking out over the fence. They're watching. It's to these two. Hey bro, do you think Zanza can really win? The opponent is the Batosai. It's impossible. But then, don't panic. Zanza's loss is included in my plans from the beginning. This is all part of the plan, Gohei. Zanza will lose, but he is a famous fighting merchant. He'll fight hard and at least wound the Batosai, even if it takes his life. Directly after that battle, when the Batosai is concentrated on his weakness, I'll finish him. Dirty, these guys. And then he pulls out a gun. With this obtained by a foreign colony in Yokohama. He's Western arms. Again, he got a gun. Back to our two standoff. Kenshin pensive. This one does not understand. Huh? Why do you, who can't stand to see bullies or be one, work as a professional fighter? And why do you wear the character Aku on your back? It is Aku, the evil. Aku means evil. Sansa, you a shirt with evil on your back. Kenshin's confused by your character. Who are you? You can't stand to see bullies. You can't stand to be a bully. But you're a professional fighter and your shirt says evil on it. Who is this guy? Your soul is straight and honest. But right now, you've gone badly askew. What has turned you so out of line? A weird translation, but we'll take it. Kenshin saying, who hired you? I think. Sansa, what, you ask, Who thinks about it? No, I'm not going to answer that question. A sob story shouldn't be told before a fight. If you really want to know, fight me and beat me. But I'll say this, at least. I believe that all revolutionary warriors are hypocrites. Damn, he's coming at you. He's coming after your ideology. Kenshin, you're a hypocrite. In the name of justice, changing the world in ways that befitted them. And getting rid of those in the way, even if that meant twisting and hiding the truth. This equality they talk about, it's all a lie. He is not buying the values of the revolution. You're hypocrites. Equality, you just took all the power. You say you want to change the world, but then you twist and hide the truth to benefit you. Okay, Sansa's right. This is his declaration. I want to crush the Hitsukiri, whom the songs call the greatest of the revolutionaries. He hates you. He hates you. He hates your cause. He hates your group. Seems a little personal. Do you think that's the real reason? Isn't the real reason because you just wanted to fight him? And then the secret reason on top of that is because the evil brothers paid you? But I'm not going to give him that story. I'm going to give him this story. I hate you, and I hate everything you stand for. Kenshin, you have songs about you? That's pretty cool. Yaiko Kaoru Gulp. This is pretty intense. Kenshin stares on. Serious. Waiting. Not triggered. Alright then. Kenshin! He's gonna do it. But tell me this. The ones who hired you are the Hiruma brothers, yes? He knew! He knew! He knew the whole time! And the brothers look at each other like, ah! Sansa, yeah, they did. How'd you know? Kenshin, not many people know my background in this city. It pretty much had to be those guys. Besides, some very dirty key is coming from that other side of the fence. Show yourselves, brothers incompetent. Sansa, you're a great warrior indeed. Come on out, you two. We get a shot of the fence. They're not moving. We said come out. The brothers are freaking out. Oh my god. Maybe we better come out. They shuffle over there. Thump, thump, thump. Good, good. There you go. Alright, hand it over. Kahe, huh? What do you mean, huh? Busted. I thought so. I don't have the ability to read key, but I know how you scum think. What? He got the gun. Give me your gun. Listen, you're playing for this. Listen, you're paying for this fight, but this is my profession. Stupid stunts like this. And then he crushes the gun with his hand. I don't play. It's not how we fight. Pulling a gun is a stunt. Stupid stunts like this are absolutely not tolerated. He gives him the stink eye. Kaoru looks over. Kai. They have a little history, don't they? This property will be mine yet, witch! Okay. Kaoru looks down like. Kenshin looks back at her like, this is unnecessary pain for Kaoru. She doesn't need to hear this shit. They're walking through town. Yaiko's thinking, you guys are so freaking obvious right now. You're gigantic and your presence is huge. Everybody's looking at you. Relatable. Kenshin. Yaiko, huh? You were surprised? Kinda. But it's funny. I don't feel afraid, knowing you were the Hitukiri Batosai. In fact, it makes more sense to me now why you're as good as you are. Kenshin and Kaoru look over. Okay, Yaiko doesn't judge us badly for being an evil assassin who killed thousands of people during the revolution. Like, one, it kind of makes sense, and two, it explains how good you are. So yeah, it's not. I don't think it's a big deal. The author wrote us a little note. Thank you for all the fan letters. For a new author, it sure is a lot of encouragement. A couple of you are mailing me every week, and 90% of you seem to be girls. Has Shonen Jump suddenly gone shoujo? I knew it. I knew it. I was on to you. I was on to you a long time. Watsuki knew it in the 90s. I wonder, question mark. Yeah, I wonder as well sometimes. Anyway, there are the kinds of things I think of as I continue working on the series. I can't quite say I'll ever be able to reply to all of your letters, but read each letter that comes my way. Thanks again for your support, Watsuki. Anyways, you think you'll be okay out there, Oro? I mean, like, look at his weapon. That's gotta be a spear. Yoiko looks over. I heard you need 3 times the strength to fight a spear with a sword. It ain't a spear, kid. Zanza looks back. This is something better. Cut to the banks. We're on the edge of the river. Seems like there's a lot of room, and maybe we're out of town, so it's a good place to fight. Oh, yeah. We haven't introduced ourselves either. My name is Sagara Sanosuke. I'm known in the darker alleys as Zanza. He's ripping apart the thing that seemed to be concealing the weapon. Everybody's shocked except Kenshin is starting to get serious. Okay, I'm gonna have to fight this guy with. This isn't a joke. I don't know if they're shocked at the weapon that's being revealed, or if they're shocked that he's giving his real name, or if they're shocked that Zanza is a infamous name around town, and they're like, "You're Zanza?" I'm not sure what the reaction's about. Okay, I think it's a reaction at this gigantic weapon. It's gotta be. Sanosuke with the San or Zan Bato. Zanza for short. Wow. Hey, this looks like Guts' sword. What is this? It's probably longer than he is tall. How can you guys see this double spread very well? I got all my shit on top of it. I'm sorry. But it's a gigantic sword. It should be filling up the entire page of what you can see. They give you explanation. Zanbakuto. A great sword invented before the Sengoku, or the Warring States period, designed to take down a raider and his horse in one swing. It cuts through horses. Zanbakuto, Kaoru says. The brothers, I've heard of this. Zanza's famous partner, his weapon. Narrator, it is the heaviest katana ever made. Because of its weight, it is said that no one has ever been able to wield it to its full capacity, except for gods. And Sanosuke, this is an antique from the Onin struggle, but it's not in perfect shape anymore. So even though they call it a blade, it has no edge at all. I can only use it to smash and crush. Like I said. My sword doesn't really gut you, it just kind of knocks you out. Chin stands up. Imura Rurouni Kenshin will face you with this. Talks about himself in the third person all the time. With this, the sword, he always uses. But then you probably already knew so much from your research. It's like, I don't have to introduce my weapon. You already know what it is. Yes. Let me give you some advice. Let go of your ideas about sparing lives. Or else, you'll die! He comes comes charging at him with his gigantic zanbakuto. Fat brother. He's fast. Kaoru. With a weapon that heavy? He's a brace. He's ready. He's ready for whatever is coming. Our eyes meet each other. Hurrah! Well, Sanosuke hits the ground and it explodes. Rocks go flying, but I don't see Kenshin. On the other hand, I do see his hilt. It seems to be broken. Kaoru, shocked. Uh-oh. But you missed because you didn't know how fast we were. And actually, we were right behind you the whole time, coming back with the sword to hit you in the back. That's our big move. Sanosuke notices, looks back, but it's too late. It's too late. Kenshin gets him right in the ribs. Sanosuke eyes wince, little blood drips out of his mouth. That's a really cool panel. Sanosuke takes the full hit, goes flying. He goes flying back with his weapon in his hand. Sanosuke impacting into the ground. All of our characters shocked at again how fast Kenshin is. I just can't believe it. This was the first guy who I thought maybe could take Kenshin or give him a run for. No. One shot and he's gone. I don't care what fucking weapon you have. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you know my past. It doesn't matter. I don't care if the brothers hired you. It doesn't matter. You're done. Yaiko. Yes! Of course! No matter how big his zanbakuto is, it doesn't matter if you can't hit him! It's an easy win for Kenshin! Kenshin still got the fighting eyes, though. He's not done fighting. He's still taking this very seriously. And Yaiko is surprised by that. Wait a second. I thought you just beat this guy. Why are you still so serious? Why so serious, Kenshin? Hanzo gets up. You are worthy of your legend. I'm glad. Looks like he's getting up with his weapon. Kenshin's just letting him. Kaoru, no. Wait. She's got fighting intelligence. Kaoru knows everybody's style. She knows when people are about to lose, when people are, unless she's fighting. But when she's watching, she's pretty good at knowing what's going on. This is Kaoru. We have been misreading where his strength comes from. His real strength isn't his zanbakuto. It isn't even his monstrous power that takes down a giant man in one flick. Yeah, that was pretty incredible. He didn't even flinch when he got hit in the head by the Sun Tetsu. His strength is in his inhuman toughness. He's a tank. He can take a hit. Have you ever seen anybody get up from getting hit by Kenshin's sword before? This guy's a beast. Until now, Kenshin's Hiiten Mitsurugi Ryu has taken down every foe it has hit. That one won't work on this man. He can take the hit. A true fight isn't like a sword duel. The better swordsman doesn't always win. The winner is the one who remains standing. That's his strength. Fortitude. Stamina. He got a lot of health bar. I can take your hints, Kenshin. You can't one-shot me, Kenshin says. Such a line should not be spoken until you are the last one standing. Damn! We're really serious about this. Oh, that's the chapter. That's the chapter. That's the volume. That's the whole thing. You left me at a cliff. I was ready to go. You like Sanosuke? He's our fourth member of our cast, but it doesn't seem like we're friends. Maybe we'll do the Goku Piccolo thing and eventually we'll become we've got to save the Earth together. We got to team up. I thought it was hilarious that Watsuki said 90% of the letters are from female. I thought I was drawing for Shonen Jump. You're a bunch of fucking shoujo readers. He said that in the 90s. I say that in the 2020s. He really saw it coming. I like how Kenshin could feel his presence. He just steps on the block and Kenshin puts down his tea like, I gotta go outside. There's somebody not knocking at the front of my door and I need to see who it is. I was surprised the brothers came back. I'm glad that when they came back they were kind of emasculated or turned into a joke. Whereas in the chapter 1 they were like, I don't know, I was afraid of them. They were the big bads. In chapter 6 they're regulated to B-class villains. I thought it was funny that Kohei impersonates Zanza in the next chapter. Like he's gonna, that was pretty funny, Watsuki. The exact same panel except our character, a different character pretending to be him. That was really funny. There's a lot of funny stuff in here. Yaiko makes me laugh a lot. If I had to pick a favorite character, it might be Aiko. His tragic backstory, my dad's a fool, my mom's a whore, but I'm still a fucking samurai. I don't care. I don't care what happened to the caste system. I don't care what happened to history. I don't care about my parents. I know who I am. Even though I'm 10 years old, I'm like the weakest person on the squad. He still might be my favorite character. When I watched this as a child, 9 or 11, my favorite character was Sanosuke. I don't really remember why, but I remember anytime Sanosuke got a fight, it was really exciting. And I liked him because he was strong enough to stand with Kenshin, unlike Kaoru and Yaiko can't really do that. They can fight, but they can't. They're at a different level. Yaiko and Kaoru can fight, but they can't fight at the level of Sanosuke and Kenshin. Really cool action at the end. I'm sorry if my setup didn't allow you to see the full spread. I might have to think about how to do that in the future because the full spreads on the double pages are some of the coolest moments in the manga. Kaoru's reaction shots are so funny. I'd love to see a compilation of every time Kaoru goes it must be 15 or 20 times in the book where she goes, oh my god. They're always so funny. What did you think of Sanosuke going to Tokyo and getting all the he got a profile on Kenshin. I'm gonna go get a profile on this guy before I fight him. Some things I figured out, some things I didn't. Like why you became a Rurouni in the first place and why you ran away from all the other samurais who joined the government. Couldn't quite figure that one out. Funny when they're telling the brothers, but like guys, seriously, stop hiding and come out. Come on. You skulking little rogues. Did you determine the way to fight me? The first thing Kenshin says to him. So you got, you know, my mom, you know where my bank is, you know my high school, but did you determine the way that you were gonna fight me? Sansa says, that's the problem. My research only turned up a vague history, nothing about the Hite Mitsurugi Ryu, or what it's like, or how the relentless Hitokiri turned into a Rurouni who kills no one. That's where the story seemed to end for me. I couldn't figure it out. So now I'm here at the main gate, honorably, asking for a one-on-one, face-to-face fight. The first time Kenshin hit somebody and they got back up. Sansa. Anyways, did you guys like the volume? It was dense. It was kind of, plot of the week or plot of the chapter, you know, there are a lot of threads connecting one chapter to the other, but the theme or the moral of the story is kind of wrapped up at the end of every chapter. So I feel a lot of satisfaction or gratification at the end of the chapter because they give me a line or they give me a moral of the story, and I feel like either our characters' relationships have grown, or I've learned something new about the characters I didn't know before, but I never feel like I'm being strung along into a story that I don't quite understand, in a setting I don't quite understand, with a bunch of characters I'm trying to get a grasp on who they are. And there is some mystery here, but not a lot. It is linear. It's not like The Simpsons, where we tell a story and then at the end of the story we reset everything and we go back as if that didn't even happen, and we tell 1,000 independent stories that don't connect. That's not what we're doing. I do feel closure at the end of every chapter in this manga that I do not feel when I read most manga. I feel they're pulling me into the next chapter. They're dropping seeds and pulling me along. So I just really appreciated the writing style of this. Specifically, I mean, there is really good art. I think the characters are relatable. I remember thinking Kaoru was kind of immature the first time I watched this when I was 9. I don't really feel that way when I'm 30. She seems like exactly how a 15-year-old or 17-year-old girl would act. Not particularly annoying or immature or a bad female character. In fact, she's very strong. She has a ass kicking scene. She has a taking responsibility for my failed student scene. She stands up for her father's ideals. She refuses to sell the dojo. She wants to stay with Kenshin and keep training. I like her. I like Yaiko a lot more in my older age than when I was young. I just thought he was weak. I thought, hey, this is the Krillin of the crew. But I think he's very funny. I think it's very funny now that I'm older. One of the last things I wanted to say, I've kind of said already and probably reiterated a couple times, but you know, when we are following Kenshin, and every chapter has Kenshin in it, and we're following his story, but he's mysterious. This chapter was the first time anybody actually came up to our boy and said, I know exactly who you are, and I'm going to tell everybody around here exactly who you are, and I don't give a shit about your, I want to restart my life and not bring my past to my present. I don't care. I'm here to fight you. I want to fight the Hitokiri from the Revolutionary War. That was a hell of a switch. Because it seems like Kenshin just wants to live a quiet life at Kaoru's dojo and do laundry. I don't want to train students. I don't want to fight. I just want to take care of the people around me. Bottom up. We'll just fix society with the people around me. But most of the time, I'm either empathizing with Kaoru, or I'm empathizing with Yaiko, or I'm really interested in Sanosuke, and Kenshin's there. I mean, in some ways he's my favorite character, and in other ways he's my least favorite character. He's like kind of already developed as who he is, where everybody else is kind of going through their journeys still. Kenshin's like making sure their journey doesn't go bad. Making sure they don't take the wrong turn in life, making sure they don't get the wrong influences in life. Which is not me at all. I'm the idiot who needs to be saved by a person like Kenshin. I'm the one who makes stupid choices and gets tricked all the time and needs somebody to come in the room and crash the doors down and go, hey, why don't you come live with me and let's turn your life around. You know, I don't relate to him as much as I like him. I relate to pretty much every other character in the story, which is probably a good thing. I don't think that's a bad thing, and I think it's intentional. I think Kenshin's supposed to kind of be above it all, while everybody else is still kind of working it out. The art is really good. The art is really good. The better it is, the less I notice it, which is doesn't stand out as ugly. It doesn't stand out. It blends in. It keeps the story moving without me getting distracted by, oh, that's kind of ugly, or where's the background in this panel, or why was it cut like this. There's so many action shots in this book. If I had to count them, it must be 20. It could be more. Of just Watsuki. I don't want any words on the panel. All I want is a punch or a sword or a fly back in the air, or there's a lot of choreography, and it's very easy to follow, and it cuts out on a lot of the words in some places. It's not very wordy. Some pages are just fighting. It was more funny than I gave it credit for. It got funnier and funnier and funnier. The Kenshin, I'm slipping on the banana peel, not so funny, but pretty much everything else made me. Yaiko's smart ass mouth, the brothers I think are funny now instead of menacing. They're starting to. I'm not so scared of him anymore. I think they're kind of funny. I really enjoyed this volume a lot. I have the second one with me. So my plan is to just read it. Just gonna read it. Just gonna read it next. It'll be the next one I read. And then we'll see what we do from there. But until next time, I hope you enjoyed Volume 1 as much as I did. I can't say it's the best story I've ever read, but I can say it's the world's most popular manga, which is a hell of a thing to say. I do like the characters. I do like the story. I don't know where we're going. We're still kind of crew collecting, building our family. But I'm anxious to see what the next chapter's like. We're gonna do more laundry. We're gonna hang out with Kaoru more. We're gonna listen to Yaiko and Kaoru yell at each other for hours during the dojo training. Sanosuke, you're gonna fight us forever. Maybe these brothers will be reoccurring characters. I really didn't expect to see them in Chapter 6, Chapter 5. I thought they'd be, we got them. We got them in Chapter 1. They're gone. Oh, they came right back. That was interesting. Anyway, I'll stop laughing. We'll get to Volume 2. It's very exciting. I hope you join me. This is just a cut up version of the chapter of this manga that we read together on my Patreon. If you want to see the full chapter and continue reading the story together, subscribe below.